Please be seated. Good afternoon. I'm Rick Matthews, Vice President of Production Operations for the Battle Management and Engagement Systems Division, as well as the proud site manager here at St. Augustine Manufacturing Center. On behalf of the almost 800 St. Augustine Aerospace Systems employees who work here and who live here, welcome to our site, to our nation's oldest city, and to this historic event. As we celebrate the delivery of the last new production E-2C Hawkeye aircraft A205 to our United States Navy, which marks the full transition of our production efforts to the next generation of E-2D Advanced Hawkeye. As the largest private industrial employer in St. Johns County, we're proud to have been home of the Hawkeye since 1994. And we look forward to continue to carry that moniker as we build the E-2D for many years to come. We're pleased to have several distinguished guests here today to help mark this historic event. On the dais, Rear Admiral Richard O'Hanlan, Commander, U.S. Naval Air Forces, Atlantic. Mr. Chris Fraser, Deputy Program Manager for the United States Navy E-2 and C-2 programs. My boss, Mr. Tom Price, Northrop Grumman Aerospace Systems Sector Vice President and Battle Management and Engagement Systems Division General Manager. Mr. Jim Kumo, Northrop Grumman Vice President for Airborne Early Warning and Battle Management Command and Control Programs. We're also honored to have several dignitaries in the audience. From our United States Congress, representing Senator Bill Nelson's office, Mr. Chris Capel and Ms. Michelle Bart. Representing Congressman Andrew Crenshaw's office, Ms. Erica Strebel and Ms. Jacqueline Smith. And representing Congressman John Micah's office, Mr. Wiley Deck. From the Defense Contract Management Agency, my friend, Captain Dan Cupp. From the state of Florida, the Honorable Dr. Bill Proctor, member of the House of Representatives, and the Chancellor of our local college, Straggler College. Thanks to everyone here and watching via webcast from New York to Florida for carving time from your busy schedules to attend today. Your presence certainly makes this special occasion even more special. It's now my honor to introduce to you Jim Kumo. Please join me in welcoming Jim, our MC for the afternoon.
Thanks, Rick. And thanks to all of you for joining me as we pause so briefly to recognize and celebrate this pivotal transition point in the history of the E-2. Northrop Grumman has a long and proud history of delivering E-2 airborne early warning, battle management, command and control weapon systems to the U.S. Navy and coalition partners around the world. It's hard to imagine, but Northrop Grumman, working with the best industry partners, including Lockheed Martin, Rantron, Rolls-Royce, Raytheon, BAE, and many others, have continued to design, develop, and build better mousetraps. From its early origins in the E-2-1 Fraser, a.k.a. the Willie Fudd, through today's E-2 Hawkeyes, we have over 45 years of success in providing leading-edge AW&C capability to the U.S. Navy and our international allies. The E-2, as always, and will continue to represent the most successful first line of defense in airborne early warning capability the world has seen. As the U.S. Navy's E-2Ds come into service, they will represent the next generation of AEW and will be a transformation in defense. Let's take a look at what that really means. I'll sit up today after we get to look forward instead of back, so we didn't see the show. But what a great look back at the legacy of E2, E-2C, and E-2D. This is the first time we've had an E-2C and E-2D advanced Hawkeye sit side by side at Northrop Grumman. I know they look alike from the outside, but I can assure you that on the inside they are very, very different. What the E-2C has provided in AEW&C for many years, E-2D will bring a two-generational leap in technology our battle commanders require to meet the evolving threats of today and tomorrow. As someone who has dedicated their life to airborne radar command and control systems, it's exciting to see how this technology has evolved over the years. Just a little personal note, I started work in 1981 for a General Electric company who built the radar, and the first radar I worked on was the APS-138, which is an aircraft 34. So I didn't think I was an old guy until we're at 205 right now. For me personally, it means an awful lot to be here today. For those close to the program and those most fortunate to operate them off our nation's carriers, these aircraft are a critical enabler and element of a sophisticated network of systems. This Hawkeye 2000, Aircraft 205, will now join the proud inventory of the Airborne Early Warning Command and Control Logistics Wing and serve our nation proudly. It will also join a global wing of some 35 E-2Cs flown by air forces and navies around the world, from Japan, Egypt, Taiwan, France, and Singapore. Northrop Grumman and its Hawkeye supplier teams will proudly continue to support the E-2C user community for years to come. And we are now getting ready to celebrate the first E-2D to come off the production line. And I know a lot of people look at these planes and they don't look too beautiful, but to me, these are one beautiful airplane. Both of them are very beautiful. At the center of the E-2D's many improvements is the APY-9 radar, designed and developed by the greatest radar team in the world, led by our long-term partner, Lockheed Martin. It is a quantum leap in technology in that it can see smaller targets and more of them at a greater range than the currently fielded radar system. The E-2D Hawkeye is expertly designed to detect, track, and defeat theater, air, and missile threats at extended ranges, so as our customers' needs evolve, so too will the E-2D. Over the past few years, we've had many, many successes. First flight of A1 happened August 2007. Delta 1 and Delta 2 started flight testing at that time down here in St. Augustine. They transitioned to PAX in the June time frame, and they're well into flight tests. This E-2D behind me will transition to the Navy to support initial operation test and evaluation in early 2010. Our two other pilot production aircraft are currently being built here in St. Augustine. They will also transition to the U.S. Navy in 2010. And we were awarded our low-rate initial production contract last June. All these great achievements are a testament to the tireless commitment the entire advanced Hawkeye team has to program excellence. I am honored and very proud to lead this great team. Now, it gives me great pleasure to introduce my boss, Mr. Tom Weiss. Tom is well known as being a tireless champion for our customers, our company, our division, and especially for the Hawkeye. From this core program to the E-8C Joint Stars for the United States Air Force, Tom is very focused on ensuring we meet our contract commitments to our customers. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Tom Weiss.
Thank you, Jim, for that kind introduction. Admiral O'Hanlan, Mr. Fraser, distinguished guest, thank you for your time, for being here today. I don't know, take one more look. I think they're beautiful. I'm sure new aviation... I'm sure when new naval aviators are first trying to pick their new jet they want to fly, I'm sure they're standing in line for the Hawkeye, I'm sure of it. As Jim mentioned, I am very passionate about the Hawkeye. The Hawkeye and I have a very interesting history together. Not just the fact that I was previously the E-2D Hawkeye program manager, but in fact the Hawkeye and I were first produced in the same year, many, many years ago, but in the same year. I'm just hopeful that I last as long as the E-2D in this next round. So it's a great program. I'm deeply proud of the outstanding work that our entire team has done over the years to support our United States Navy. I'm particularly proud that this 205th delivery of an E-2 Hawkeye is as promised, on time and on schedule. I want to give all of you a round of applause to make that happen. Again, I'd like for you to take a moment and look behind me. These two Hawkeye aircraft, the E-2C and the E-2D Advanced Hawkeye, are a significant part of our proud legacy of aviation, experience, and American know-how. And they will be a major part of Northrop Grumman's future in the years to come. Today's milestone is significant because if we think about it, in just a few short months, December 6, 2009, will mark the 80th anniversary of the incorporation of one of our founding companies, the Grumman Corporation. Why is that important? Because for more than half of those 80 years, our team has been devoted to consistently designing, building, and delivering hundreds of Hawkeyes. Today we're talking about Hawkeye 205, building hundreds of Hawkeye aircraft for the United States Navy and our allies around the world. As Jim mentioned, for 4 decades, these E-2s have protected our U.S. Navy carriers, and for at least the next 40 years, the E-2D will do the same. I'm looking forward, Jim, to the E-2E rollout. You know, as we've talked about before, when you think about the E-2D and its role as the digital quarterback, this next generation E-2D is the cornerstone of the U.S. Navy's network-centric architecture. It will support critical missions around the world, a world full of complex and changing threats. Threats that E-2D will be able to quickly adapt to and defeat. At Northrop Grumman, we all know that it's our duty to support our customers, to make sure they have in their portfolio the most powerful technologies and weapon systems available to successfully complete their mission, stay ahead of the enemy, and return home safely to their families. And that's what we do. From our U.S. Navy customers, our dedicated elected leaders in Congress and in our state, to our entire Hawkeye industry team, it takes many hands and relentless commitment to make the Hawkeye successful, and I thank all of you. Finally, I would be remiss if I did not personally extend a thank you to the thousands of men and women over the generations who have designed and built and flown the Hawkeye over its incredible history and helped to shape the proud future in front of us. The Hawkeye's value has been tremendous, and today's ceremony honors this great weapon system. But today also ushers in a more powerful E-2D, an E-2C offspring, if you will, the next generation advanced Hawkeye. Thank you. Thank you, Jim.
Thank you very much, Tom, and thanks for your dedication and service to not only the company but for this to this program. So I thank you very much. Now, it is with great honor that I introduce our next speaker, Rear Admiral Richard O'Hanlan, Commander, Naval Air Forces Atlantic, a great leader and a great American. He has had a long and distinguished naval career. In his current billet, Rear Admiral O'Hanlan has a challenging and enviable responsibility of supporting the fleet commanders with combat-ready and sustainable aircraft and carriers that are trained and resourced in an environment emphasizing safety, interoperability, and efficient resource management. As an attack aviator flying the A-7 and FA-18 and FA-18 squadron commander, as well as the commanding officer of an aircraft carrier and a carrier strike group, Rear Admiral O'Hanlan has had a close working relationship with the Hawkeye and those who fly it throughout his career. I can't think of a better representative from the operational Navy to speak at this ceremony. Please join me in giving the Admiral a very, very warm Hawkeye welcome.
Thank you, Jim, for that very kind invitation. I need to react to a couple of things that I've experienced here today, or at least seen. First of all, I don't know how loud that video sounded to you, but up here on the stage it was ear-splitting loud, which is about the sound level that came from the E-2 before you switched to the 8-bladed prop. It was quite a hum, I guess is the best way to say it. The other thing is the comment about this airplane, I guess, being beautiful, or maybe, I guess, inferred not being beautiful. I've got to tell you, as a fighter pilot, as somebody that has flown in tailhook aviation all my life, there was something very calming, something very beautiful about checking in on the appropriate frequency and hearing whatever the E-2's call sign was, whether it was closeout, tiger tail, liberty, wall banger, whatever it was, coming up and saying, we got your radar contact, and started providing information about where the disposition of forces were, or the kinds of things that the E-2 provided real well. And I can tell you many, many times, whether I was flying missions in bad guy country or whether I was just training in places like Fallon, Nevada, where the E-2 saved my bacon multiple times by telling me there was someone trying to sneak up on me. So I'm a real believer in this airplane, and I'm a real believer in the people who fly in this airplane. And of course, I'm a tremendous believer in the people who maintain this airplane. So all of you that had a piece in the building of it, and all of you that had a piece in the design of it, and all of you that have had a piece in the testing of it, my thanks to you. It is truly a magnificent airplane. Now I get to say my prepared remarks. Again, Jim, thank you. It is truly an honor to be here in St. Augustine this afternoon in such esteemed company. This is a bittersweet yet exciting moment as we take delivery of the last new production Hawkeye 2000 and recognize the end results of those who have put so much into the building of this aircraft. The E-2 has truly served as the eyes of the fleet in its critical role, airborne early warning and command and control. Its ability to provide crucially important battle space management and its reliable performance in demanding environments is beyond par. Hawkeyes are always on station, always being the watchful eye so important to the operational commander. The Hummer has a long and proud history of mission accomplishment. The fleet will continue to see many more years of reliable service from the E-2C and its legacy, endowed in the next generation and the capabilities of the E-2D here behind us. For longer than I have been in the Navy, the venerable Hawkeye has been the eyes of the fleet. If you are familiar with the normal order of launch from the deck of a carrier, it is no accident that one of the first aircraft to launch and one of the last to recover is the E-2. After its debut during the Vietnam conflict, it tracked Soviet Badgers and Bears throughout the Cold War. It enabled successful coalition air operations during Operations Desert Watch and Desert Storm, and continued to provide reliable, vital information to commanders throughout the years of Operation Northern and Southern Watch in Iraq. They have flown NATO missions over the former Republic of Yugoslavia, and they continue to prove their worth every day, as they have from day one and throughout Operation Enduring Freedom and Iraqi Freedom. The Hummer's penetrating gaze bolsters our coalition partners by providing a clear picture for those flying over Afghanistan today. It enables our maritime forces to guarantee the free flow of vital commerce by providing superb battle space information to those who conduct counter-piracy missions today off the coasts of Africa and the Indian Ocean. And they operate in support of federal law enforcement by sharing valuable information to assist in drug interdiction and counter narco-terrorist operations in the Southern Hemisphere. I know firsthand the critical role of the E-2 plays in every operation, and I am honored to be here representing the ready rooms of the fleet. Words cannot express the gratitude we have for the patriotic men and women of Northrop Grumman, and I'll add DCMA, who have given so much to design, test, and build this aircraft. We in the fleet and our nation as a whole have long benefited from your pursuit of excellence, hard work, and thorough attention to detail. Every mission we fly, every enemy that was detected and thwarted due to the unblinking Hawkeye has your brains, your brawn, your gifted hands behind that success. While this aircraft may be the final Hawkeye 2000 to roll off the line, it is comforting to know that the experienced artisans who have always been a crucial part of this program remain committed to the success of the follow-on E-2D. I look forward to watching the next generation of naval aviators operate this platform and continue to build on the E-2 legacy of performance and success. So on behalf of Hawkeye Squadron personnel everywhere, I say thanks for supplying this wonderful aircraft to the fleet. May God bless you. May God bless all Hawkeye aircrew, past, present, and future. And may God bless America. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Admiral O'Hanlan. Due to urgent business back in Washington, D.C., my counterpart and good friend, Captain Shane Cahagan, the program manager for the Hawkeye Greyhound program, couldn't be with us here today. We are, however, fortunate to have his very capable deputy, Mr. Chris Fraser, here with us. Tom and I have had the great pleasure of working side by side with Chris. He's a consummate professional with a depth of program management experience that has and continues to contribute significantly to the success of the Advanced Hawkeye program. His business acumen was honed on another great naval aviation program, the F-14 Tomcat, which Chris led for many years as the program manager. Since joining the E-2C program, Chris's dedication and infectious inspirational leadership have driven our joint U.S. Navy industry team to be the successful model for other programs to follow. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Chris Fraser.
Jim, thanks for those kind words. You know, America is known for great companies producing great products. And occasionally this coupling of a company and a product symbolizes greatness. The best of the best. They set the standard for everyone else to follow. I'm thinking about Colt pistols, Harley-Davidson motorcycles, Jack Daniel's Tennessee whiskey, and Grumman-made naval aircraft. I'm proud to be here today and thank all of you for being here. In the time that I've been with you, I've seen the partnership between Northrop Grumman and PMA 231 grow and solidify. We are locked at the hip. Together we've seen some tough times, but as a team, we were able to pull through and we continue to supply airborne early warning command and control capability to the fleet, to those at the tip of the spear. For that, we thank you and celebrate your hard work and attention to detail. What you do here is an integral part of the everyday operation that supports our Navy, our nation, and the world. The men and women here with us today and their predecessors have for the last 40 years built the Hawkeye, which is a key component of the Carrier Strike Group, as the Admiral just talked about. First to launch, last to trap. Even with today's delivery of the last E-2C Hawkeye, this team will continue to shape the future of our Navy by delivering the next generation aircraft to the warfighter, the E-2D. The Advanced Hawkeye expands operations from the Blue Water mission to include overland and the littorals. With the radar's 2-generation leap in technology, the Advanced Hawkeye will provide the warfighter expanded battle space awareness and enhanced Navy integrated fire control, counter-air. Although the Advanced Hawkeye casts the same shadow on the runway as its predecessor, don't be fooled. It's a brand new aircraft. The systems and capabilities of the E-2D were completely redesigned to advance the mission and provide a seamless stream of information between the key players of the strike team. To date, this program has hit every milestone, culminating in a milestone C decision and approval to enter low-rate initial production this past June. It takes a special kind of dedication and a solid partnership to create a successful program such as the Hawkeye. I'm here to let you know that I'm truly grateful for the professionalism and devotion that you show every day, and I look forward to continuing this partnership with Northrop Grumman and Team Hawkeye. As I close, I'd just like to say thank you to Grumman St. Augustine for building a great airplane, DCMA, St. Augustine and Bethpage for helping us get those airplanes delivered on time, Grumman Bethpage, NavAir Contracts, our integrated product support team for the Hawkeye from NavAir. Thank you all for continuing to define excellence.
Those were great words, Chris. I really appreciate the kind words, and you talked about team, and I can't. Every team needs a strong leader and leaders, and you and the captain have provided that leadership, and it's easy to come to work every day when we have people like you working on our team. So greatly appreciate that. Thanks. So now we get to the presentation of the key for the Hawkeye for aircraft 205, and as many of you know here who know the Hawkeye, the key is a hopper cart and a power cart, so we couldn't get that on the stage here. So on behalf of Northrop Grumman and the entire E-2 Hawkeye team, I'd like to present Admiral O'Hanlan and Chris Fraser, the ceremonial key, to aircraft 205, the final new production E-2C Hawkeye 2000. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our ceremony today. Once the guests on the dais have had a chance to disembark and view the aircraft up close, we invite you to come up and admire the skilled workmanship of the Hawkeye team. Please join me in thanking all of those who have worked so hard to achieve this significant Hawkeye milestone. Bravo Zulu to the men and women who build, test, fly, and maintain the E-2C and E-2D. Thank you.